your teachers. I hope everybody is able to see me and hear me clearly. Yes, that's great. Uh, Thank you so much for joining on another Super Sunday workshop. And this time we are touching the 123rd Sunday on the topic of something very, very important, but given the least importance, called as micro moments in teaching. Today's session is going to be more like a revision, more like something that you already know about things that I've been already doing this. It's just that nobody spoke about it. There's one beautiful concept called as incentivizing. I would like to repeat it. Incentivization is basically appreciating something for someone who did something. Yeah, it could be for the children, it could be for the people. Many organizations do that for their employees. But what's really catchy about incentivization is it's not really about incentivizing the product, but it's actually incentivizing the efforts. I'll talk about it a little bit for 30 seconds. What do we actually mean by incentivization is it's like to a child, you say that you score 100 out of 100 in maths or science, I'll get you your dream cycle, bicycle or something like that for a third or fourth standard student. Or it could be when the children go for higher classes, you score this much, I'll get you the PlayStation, or you do this much, I'll get you something like that. Now, all these statements that are very common in most of the households out there, not only the household, even the teachers speak about it to the students quite often. Here, we are actually incentivizing the product of scoring 100 on 100, the product of achieving something at the end result. But as per psychologists and clinical psychology, what they say is if we incentivize the efforts, they wouldn't have scored 100 out of 100, but they would have taken a lot of efforts to do that. And if they've been really consistent with their efforts, and when we appreciate the efforts taken, the outlook is completely different. It seems that the social and emotional learning of that particular child or an adult from their emotional standpoint, they have much better way of handling life than the people who were incentivized based on the product. A simple statement: incentivization of products or incentivization of efforts. Why are we even talking about it? I would like to set the context for today's session called as Micro Moments in Teaching is not about if the student scored 75 above, 85 above, 90 above in the so and so teacher's class. It's about how much of a real life exposure the children had. They wouldn't have scored 90 out of 100, but they've scored 80 out of 100, but still they are way more competent in the world than the other students. Micro moments define that. Micro moments is about that aspect where a teacher deliberately distracts the students to a new world altogether, probably related to the topic or not related to the topic, but still brings them back to the class for the topic that was intentional, which is with respect to the learning objectives. Whatever I'm speaking right now might not make complete sense, but around 60 to 70% you would have understood a little bit. Let's get into the session and understand what do we actually mean by micro moments in teaching. I would like to appreciate all the teachers who have been consistent in joining every Super Sunday workshop for the last, what, 50, 60 Sundays? That's an achievement. It's 1 year of regularity. Not many people can afford to do that. Well, scenarios and situations are different for everyone. However, I'm also sorry to have organized these Super Sunday workshops. First of all, during Sundays, that also early morning, at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. It's quite a task to open the notebook on a Sunday to learn something. If you're doing that, appreciate yourself. Let's quickly go forward. Micro Moments in Teaching Super Sunday Workshop Series, session 123. Let's go forward. The first one, some common micro moments in the class. Now, what do we actually do? Have you done this ever? Count to 10 or reverse. You're taking the students from the classroom to the assembly or assembly to the classroom in order to bring discipline in the class, in order to control the chaos. You start counting and you say that within 10 you have to be there in your respective place, and you start like 1, 2, 3, and then at 8 you'll be like 8.1, 8.2, then 9.1, and then 10. So it's an intentional way of uh, deliberately distracting and attracting the students towards your intention of making them stand in the line or making them sit quietly in the class. Some people do something different apart from counting. That's like there's quite a lot of people do this. They ask the students to raise their hands, and there's a rhythm to it. I think some people say that raise your right hand and then raise your left hand and both hands up, straight up until everybody's quiet or something like that, or something like it's like 10 claps. and then appreciation clap, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, something like that. All these are something related to bringing back the class to your attention and intention. There's one more fountain clap, exactly. We call that as right, exactly, to bring the focus, something like that, Mamta ma'am. Let's go forward and understand the next one. There are also moments where you recognize somebody's efforts, students who have like achieved something in their life, like that was an exceptional performance in the annual day function. You did a great dance or something like that, and that's where hip hip hooray moments come into picture. Scout clap also, right? And hip hip hooray moments are quite common these days, especially in the primary class. You do the same thing to 11th and 12th standard students. They'll be like, ma'am, are you a child, something like that. So here it also depends on the kind of class that you are into, the kind of maturity that you're handling. So it's very important to know that micro moments is a function of the frequency of the teacher, the moment, and the students. Three aspects play an important role. We're going to talk about it in repeat mode a little later. Yeah, how's the Josh is another one. Yeah, exactly. Josh in my area, people will not know what is Josh, but yeah, you're right. Yoga, freeze dance. Yeah, I know that. Got to witness some of them, Nisha ma'am. You're absolutely right. Meet and greet is something very, very interesting, and this has been like a trend these days. It's like you have a unique way of greeting the students when they come to the class for the first time. It's like, I have high five to someone, I have tapping to someone, I just handshake with someone, and this is very common. I also have a video to play on that. One guy became viral because of this. Do you know about this person? We're going to talk about that. And next is thought for the day. Now, this is more cognitive. Word of the day, boy or girl of the class, etc. You put all these things on the board, whiteboard or blackboard, whatever it is, and you recognize the students. This could be another way of distraction and intentional distraction, something like that. So another micro moment in the class. One more. Let's go with one more. Prayer to start the class. I think many people do this. I remember my childhood days where my teacher used to be like, "Thank you God for the words so sweet. Thank you God for the food we eat. Thank you God for the birds that sing. Thank you God for everything." This is like a ritual. We don't say good morning. We just get up by the moment the teacher enters, Nelson sir, and we have to say this. And then we begin the class. Again, bringing back the students to the class. Micro moment, micro moment. You have got a passcode for the game. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Then we have got something called as picture references. This is very common in pre-primary classes. I think some of you would be able to relate to this. Like, uh, there are pictures. It could be the picture of a cartoon hugging each other, or handshaking each other, or high-fiving each other. Like the children have to come and choose what they want to. And when they select one of them, or when they tap on that, the teacher performs that particular action. Now, it's very important that SEL talks about expressions of emotions, and this plays a key role. Now, at what age, how you could do that, it's up to you, depending on the category. But this is another micro moment in the class. I hope you're able to understand what we are intentionally talking about. Next is emotion captures, emoji display. Sometimes it's very difficult for the children to express their feelings, their emotions, in fact. And emojis play an important role. You can have the six basic emotions ka emojis present in the class, or it could be given in the form of a placard or something like that to the students, or a pillow for that matter. And the students can show that emoji because they can't talk, they can't speak emotions. It's difficult to comprehend, and languages do not support sufficient words to express how you're feeling. And that's why it is very difficult to confess a crime or love. Very difficult. That's emotion captures. We really wish had emojis during the SMS days. We didn't have a lot of them. A lot of miscommunications. Okay. Anyways, let's turn yours. So, smiley badges could be a very good one. I think many people are doing that. You show emoji and ask which one they choose. Exactly. Something like that, Sunita ma'am. You're absolutely right. Okay. Emoji is a good idea. Classroom agreements revisited. You start the class with a circle time every day with different activities. Exactly. Jump start, circle time. It's all about setting the tone of the class. Well, all these points attribute to a very simple word called as micro moments in teaching. I think many people before coming to the session would have actually not thought about what exactly micro moments are. Even if you Google about it, you'll get a lot of different perspectives to it. But today, I don't really care what micro moments in reality means. Today, we're going to talk about these small actions and interactions that a teacher does with the students that actually creates the difference in that particular period. That is the reason we wanted to talk about this. Not many people speak about it, but the most important aspect of a classroom is not the subject in itself, but the way it is taught to the students. And in that particular way, if they're smiling a little bit in between, those are the moments that they will cherish for life. It could be games, or it could be riddles. It could be meet and greet, or it could be raise your hands, whatever it is. So let's quickly talk about micro moments in detail. But before going forward, let's watch a video which really went viral. I think many people know about it. Let's go forward. Now here, I would like to share the sound. Have you seen this guy, Mr. White? Okay, three, two, one.
A lot of students come in with, situation at home that's not ideal. So therefore, when they come into school, I want this to be their sanctuary. Like I want them to be excited to come to school, because before I'm able to deliver a substantial amount of content to them, they have to buy into me. They have to invest in the teacher itself.
I don't know. You might be ready.
He's getting one.
But one thing that's going to stick with them forever is, how did Mr. White treat me when I was in this grade? It kind of draws them in, and once I have them in and have their trust, and they're invested in me, then I can deliver my content. See the academic side of it increase. So that's really why I do it, man, to bring joy to them. I mean, I feel like every student needs a little bit of joy in their lives. It doesn't matter what it is. Every student. That's been one of the biggest things for me, like those messages from other educators. I'm talking about past, about 20, 50 years in the game. Oh my God, I had tears in my eyes. I can't wait to go to school. I'm gonna try this for my students. I mean, that was so amazing to me. I'm all about bringing joy to people's lives, man, and inspiring others to do so. So hopefully everybody can start doing it in their classroom, making it a big thing, worldwide thing, something cool.
Come on, man.
So having a basketball set up in the class is not a big deal. And how about using that as an element of asking questions? You put the basket on properly, and I will not ask you a question or not about the homework, something like that. So these are some of the moments that we are talking about, which actually creates difference in the way we teach. Not that nobody does it, everybody does it, just that it's not spoken much about. We kind of take it lightly. But no, as per the competency based education system, one of the key aspects is teachers need to connect with the children really. Now, when they say really, it's not only with respect to the real life aspects, but also with emotional aspects. Let's understand this in a little more detailed fashion. And thank you, Mr. White. With respect to the scientific approaches. Now, first of all, when we talk about micro moments, this has got direct implications with science. Now, let's understand with respect to attention spans. Now, according to the attention span of a particular student or an adult, it's like approximately age multiplied by 2 to 5 minutes. Widely accepted in child development circles. For example, a 7-year-old child can typically maintain focused attention for 14 to 35 minutes, with the lower end being more common in classroom environments. Now, 14 to 35 minutes, trust me, it is heavily affected even with technology coming into picture. More screen times, and the children have smaller attention spans, which you are very well aware about. Somewhere hardly for a 7-year-old, somewhere around 10 minutes or 12 minutes maximum. And if that's happening, that's great. In order for the teachers to engage the students for 10 to 12 minutes, micro moments play an important role. Now, when we speak about attention spans, it's also important for you to very clearly realize that if anybody of you here is calculating your attention span by multiplying your age with 2, and like, hey, I'm 35 years old, 70 minutes is my attention. No, it works only till 18 to 20 years of age, not more than that. Trust me, it's not more than that. And in this case, if anybody thought like your attention span is really good, it is much lesser than the children, unfortunately. Yeah. So but this micro moments can define attention spans with a little increase in that. So that is the reason. That is the reason when you talk about, say, some topics in the class, and suddenly you're like, "Hey, did you see the match yesterday? India played amazing well. Rohit Sharma did a magic over there and India won the match." I was extremely happy watching the match. Did anyone watch? And then the students start talking about it. You are very conscious about it. You're talking about it for 2 minutes. You're conscious for the fact that you spoke your content, whatever you wanted to speak from the textbook for, say 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes, and then you're deliberately distracting the students towards cricket that happened yesterday and you're bringing back them to the class. I'm pretty sure many of you do this. It may be cricket, sometimes it may be some other sport, or it could be a movie that got released, or it could also be an example from the local grocery store. It could be anything. But you do that, right? Now, a good teacher, a teacher who's really smart enough over here, will be able to connect that distraction that you took the students out with the topic itself. So, like air pollution is the topic, and you suddenly talk about yesterday, I do not know, my car suddenly smoking black smoke. I do not know why. What happened? So much of black smoke. Maybe my oil is not changed, something like that. Maybe my quality of oil is poor, or maybe I did not service my car. Now, this has got direct relationship with air pollution, but you're talking about your reality that happened, deliberately distracting towards an incident that happened. 90% of the time, a smart teacher may have never undergone such kind of a situation, but they create that in the class. The dramatization of that incident, which is so convincing, can get the students diverted towards that incident, imagine themselves over there, and then bringing them back class. And now you talk about air pollution, you talk about smog, you talk about an incident in Delhi, which is completely full of smog, air quality index. The chapter of air is done pretty well. This is called as micro moments. I hope I'm able to touch the core aspect of it. Reality in classroom, that the students in primary classrooms change tasks roughly 10 to 12 minutes, whether planned or unplanned. How about planning our chapters for a span of 7 to 10 minutes and then quickly have a micro moment and again 7 to. This was a very good idea. We can have our lesson plans and add one more column over there called as micro moment. I'm not increasing your documentation, it can be mental as well. All the things cannot be documented. Today you document something, tomorrow you might come up with a better idea. Can't change the document again. But documentation gives seriousness to life. Implication: children have cyclical attention patterns. They may tune out and re engage multiple times in a lesson. So, this is one of the key scientific aspiration for micro moments to be mandatory in the class. Let's go with another interesting example. What is another scientific reason? Under adolescents and teenagers, they show sustained attention for 10 to 20 minutes during the lectures. This is maximum. This is maximum. But your classroom is of 35 to 40 minutes, right? Think about it. Cognitive overload begins around the 20th minute mark without stimulation or interaction, as per Wilson and Kahn in 2007. Nobody has to say that. It's common sense. You can't continuously focus on one particular thing for more than 20 minutes. Well, what people started doing is they started having distractors. Now, some of them were like, let us have multiple distractors and let's make this class very fast. So every 10 minutes, they started having distractors. Some people said that why 10 minutes? Let's have distractors every 5 minutes, and they did that. Some people said that let's have distractors every 2 minutes. And these people who made distractors after every 2 minutes could be called as YouTube shorts, could be called as TikTok. Now, the people got addicted to 2 minute distractors so much that the attention span actually got reduced to a large extent. That is the reason people are worried about it. So, it's very important for a teacher to design, be very strategic about the micro moments in the class. Deep, right? How many of you open the YouTube video to watch something, but you actually forget about whatever you wanted to watch and start watching something else? In how many of your mobile phones you open YouTube, rather than the full length video getting opened, YouTube shorts get opened for the first time? I mean, right on the top of the screen. If that's happening, that means you're addicted to shorts. YouTube shorts. It could be Instagram reels as well, for that matter. Yeah. But the point is, your attention spans are heavily affected. I'm also affected. Yeah. Teens are particularly vulnerable to internal distractions. That means daydreaming, emotional thoughts, and external distractions. That is why it's interesting to teach, students of teenagers or adolescents. You can easily distract them. Yeah. And if it's deliberate from your side, it is easy for them to bring them back. But if at all you're allowing the children to get distracted from their own side and style, finish, bring them back is very difficult. Neurological notice: the prefrontal cortex, I think we discussed about it multiple times, responsible for impulse control and attention, is still maturing until the age of 18 to 21. So many people say that you become an adult at 18. Brain is like, no, I need some more time. So 21, 22, some people even 25 years of age, they don't really get matured. Now, when we say matured, what do you mean by it? The mental maturity is the complete development of prefrontal cortex. Remember the two systems, the frontal brain and the back brain, which is called as the limbic system. These two need to interact. Limbic system is more alert. It's not impulsive in nature. It'll think for some time and then give instructions to the prefrontal cortex. Now, sometimes when you call the teenagers, are you not able to understand? Stupid. Trust me, the students are not able to understand. That part of brain which needs to understand is still not there. So don't get angry. They're not even going to understand what you're going to say. So, anyways, that's scientific in nature. We'll talk about that in some other session. Then we have got adults and university students like us. Passive attention span is 15 to 20 minutes maximum. Even university students lose focus around 15-minute mark, especially in the traditional lecture formats. So it's very important for the lecturer or the presenter to make sure that you distract and bring them back. You distract and bring them back. Active engagement extends attention with the proper visual audio shifts or proper micro moments in the class that can be up to 45 to 50 minutes. So multiple researchers prove that as well. So micro breaks or stimulus variation every 10 to 15 minutes help reset the attention clock. This is for adults and university students. So depending on what class we are teaching or you are teaching, you can have it according to that. Nice, no? Let's go forward. Let's go forward. Let's impact of digital culture. I think we saw this. Let's quickly. So controversial yet widely cited study claimed that average human attention span dropped from 12 seconds in 2000 to 8 seconds, shorter than that of a goldfish. Average attention span of human beings. You can't concentrate more than 8 seconds. 8 seconds. That means if you are able to watch a YouTube video continuously more than 8 seconds, you are good. But are you really able to do that? Think about it. While later critics called that methodological flaws, the core point stands still. Digital media consumption has led to a decline in sustained attention, especially in passive contexts. Implication: educators must now teach a generation accustomed to rapid shifts, multitasking, and visual stimulation. Unfortunately, you have to become one of the YouTube shorts in the class to get the students attracted towards you. That's sad. And many teachers perform out there. So, micro distractions like sounds, screens, or internal thoughts are more frequent in Gen Z and Gen Alpha students, everyone born after 95 or 96. Active learning, peer interaction, and quick resets like micro moments help restore attention cycles. That is why micro moments is very, 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 very important. And today's session is going to be all about that. Some of the micro moments, what do? They keep up the attention spans. They help the students retain and understand information, content, and knowledge. I'll talk about how it can be done. They help in perspectives. That means World War II, you hate Hitler, but you have a question of a micro moment over there. There can be the other side of the coin as well. Humiliation that happened to Germany, something like that. It changes perspectives. They link and connect dots with real life experiences. That is very, very important, which we generally skip, or the textbook doesn't really talk about it. But the new NCRT books are really good. I've seen that. They allow students to have informal conversations on a serious topic. I'll show you some examples in few minutes. They are not at all traditional. That is why it is interesting. These moments are generally fun. Intention is to have joyful sessions. These moments break the monotony. I think many people know about it. You keep talking and suddenly allow the students to talk. In fact, when you are tired, you ask the student to get up. Hey, read that paragraph, man. Something like that. You do that, right? Yeah, these moments build the competencies. It's very important. And these are not exhaustive. It's like huge list. Micro moments in teaching plays an important role in teaching learning process, not only for the students, but also for the teachers. Let's go with one example. Can somebody tell me, by the way, before going ahead, what am I? I'm all around you, but you can't see. Think about it. I push on you and everything constantly. I help planes fly and winds to blow. Guess what I am? I make weather go. I think everybody started to guess already. Okay. Okay. Wind, air. Oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's air, air, air. Exactly. Exactly. Well, the answer is air. And that's what we call air pressure. So rather than introducing the topic of air pressure with what do you mean by pressure, how about a riddle coming into picture? Now, a riddle is that particular micro moment that we're talking about. I hope you're getting the connect right now. Let's go with one more. Let's go with one more. Apart from what am I kind of questions, there are a few other micro moments that can be done in the class. One could be, did you know? Did you know plays an important role in everybody's life? It's like something like trigonometry was first used by ancient Indian and Greek mathematicians over 2000 years ago to study astronomy and build temples. Did you know the Brihadishwara temple that's built in Tanjavur? It's one of the marvels of the country. This had trigonometry in it. So, for a grade 9 student who does not know really the purpose of learning sine theta and cos theta, how about having a did you know fact? Apart from what am I? It could be this as well, right? Ancient Indian mathematician Aryabhatta used trigonometric concepts like sine and cosine in his astronomical calculations way before they were named as such in the West. Indians were way ahead. In fact, the gravity was written by Bhaskaracharya long time back when even Newton wrote it on a piece of paper. Just because he documented it, people started giving credits to Isaac Newton, call it his laws of Newton. But our Bhaskaracharya did it long time back. How about that? So you're connecting the dots with the students not only with the topic but also an emotional aspect, a sense of pride, patriotism. That's beautiful, right? Your mobile phone uses trigonometry to detect your location through GPS signals. Your Google Maps had trigonometry. Did you even know about it? In some video games, trigonometry helps determine how characters move, jump, or aim in 3D spaces. You have to research about your games that you play. I don't think so. There is a jumping required in Candy Crush, but I think it's required in Temple Run. Hey, even the Subway Surfer. Now you're naming some games. Micro moment. You're getting into the student's life. You're trying to relate over there. Did you know? How nice it is, right? Or else it could be if you know just one angle and one side of a right triangle, trigonometry can help you find everything else. You just need two variables and everything else could be found out. This could be another did you know? So this did you know could be another micro moment that can be done in the class to establish an abstract concept with a real life connect. Not many people actually do this. If it is there in the book, it's great. Look at this. Look at this. Now this could be another English class, or I'm not sure what could be. And okay, one second. Yeah, see, some Super Mario needs a jump. Sometimes what will happen is, let me go back. Okay, micro moments allow a lot of chaos to happen in the class. For example, when we spoke about Bhaskaracharya doing trigonometry, you got involved about it and you started pouring out your thoughts of what you already know. This is involvement. This is involvement. This is the place where the students actually get attracted towards that particular topic and the teacher. Ma'am, this is what I want. This is what I want to talk. And the moment they start, conversing, that's like they're invested in you. Now you have the control. Now you guide the class the way you want. Again, there'll be a moment after 5 to 7 minutes, they'll get distracted. Use the next did you know and bring them back to the class by distracting them deliberately. So it's I would say it is an orchestration. It's a beautiful direction of a cinema in that 40-minute period. If a teacher can do that, oh, you love teaching and the students will love listening to you. And that's why you started talking about Sanskrit and various other things, right? Yeah, no, it need not be warm up activity. That's what. That is not bracketed under one particular zone. It could be in the middle of the session. I've seen some of my teachers like suddenly in the 20th or 25th minute in the class, they'll suddenly sit beside a student and they'll be like, "What happened? Are you fine?" In a very low and husky voice. It'll be heard to everyone, but still that'll be asked. It's a deliberate moment of distraction. So it cannot be something very conscious also for the students. It has to be orchestrated. Yeah, let's go forward. Let's go forward. Look at this role play title. Failure is not the end. Now you are calling out two students. Two students and giving them the role. One is going to be Dr. Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, played by a student, and another is Professor Satish Dhawan, played by another student. Did you know the story? You're talking to the student. Say, for example, after the failed launch of SLV-3 in 1979, Dr. Kalam, leading the mission, is disappointed. Why SLV-3 did not land the place where it is? It was there in Bay of Bengal. Professor Satish Dhawan, then ISRO chairman, walks in to speak with him and look at the conversation. Now the students are talking to each other. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam looking down, speaking softly. I've let the country down, sir. Years of work, and in just a few moments, it failed. The media, the nation, everyone must be thinking very like we are incapable. Then Professor Satish Dhawan, played by another student, puts a hand on Kalam's shoulder. Kalam, listen to me carefully. You did not fail. The mission failed. And that's a very important difference for you to realize, Dr. Kalam. But I was the mission director, sir. The entire country had its hopes pinned on this. I should face the press and take responsibility. Dhawan is like immediately, you're a brilliant scientist and I trust you with all my life. But today I will face the media. I am the chairman. The responsibility is equally mine. Next year, when we succeed, you will face the nation because success belongs to you. Dr. Kalam, sir, I don't know what to say with eyes swelling up. Something like that. Professor Dhawan, say nothing, just keep working. This is not failure, Kalam. It is launchpad learning. And flash forward to 1980, the next year, India successfully launches the SLV3. So the point over here is if these two students perform this in the class, you take 1 period to it or 15 minutes to it, and the students do it, the impact that the students will have on understanding the scenario live present in front of not the audio video content, the students performing it. This is another micro moment in the class. So these are some really interesting techniques that the children do, that the teachers do. What's really important is you need to make sure that you do. You just skip it. The mummy and print on students enjoy the chapter. Oh, that's fantastic, Rachna ma'am. Peppa Pig is also a good reference, by the way. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. So, which one would you like to adopt? So, we're going to put on some, some of these in slides. It's up to you which one you want to adopt. The first one is one word opener. Like some people talked about hook, right? Ask students to describe their mood or expectations with one word. Example: describe your mood in one word. So, it could be happy, sad, disgusted, uh, perplexed or confused. I don't know. Let the students speak about it. So it's one way of making the students be aware about their emotions, which is very important for their emotional quotient eventually. So let them speak. Let's make them speak. Another is curiosity hook. Somebody spoke about it. Start the lesson with a surprising fact or image. Example: did you know octopuses have three hearts? This is a did you know moment. Remember, teachers, whenever we start the session in the class, any period it is, contextualization is very, very important. What are we really talking about? While we can have multiple micro moments that are completely away, like from maths, you're teaching different types of triangles, but you're having cricket as a micro moment. That's a good thing. But the ability of a teacher to connect the triangles with cricket moment would be really great. I don't know how you'll do that, but if you can do that, that's great. So here it's about curiosity hook. Did you know octopuses have three hearts? Something related to anatomy. Whisper question. I think many people do that. Do you do this? Whisper a question to a few students and ask them to pass it on. Creates curiosity and attention. So it's like the row one. You just whisper a question and it travels, it travels, it travels, and finally it comes out. You call that as Chinese whisperer activity, right? That could be another way of looking at it. Yeah. Let's go with one more. Think, pair, share. 1 minute version. I think most of you know that. Students think silently for 30 seconds and share with the partner for 30 seconds. It could be any activity. Quick poll. Use hands, thumbs, or a tool like Mentimeter technology. Who thinks X is true? Show thumbs up and down. No, down, something like that. It can happen in the class as well. Now, this is more like engagement with the students. Now, let's go with the next one. I have something very interesting under the assessments category. And I follow almost all of these very regularly. You would have already seen in most of the Super Sunday workshop. What do we actually do? There is something called as fist to five. Basically, fist means I did not understand anything. Five means I've understood everything. So you can tell the students like, can you show your fist to five for this particular class? And the children might be like, so students show their understanding on a scale of 0 to 5. I've understood everything, ma'am. That was fantastic. Or sometimes if it's not done in the right class, the students will deliberately show 5 or 0 for you to go away from the class. It's like bell rang, why are you not leaving? So it's very important to be very strategic about it and which age category are we actually looking into. Next is exit ticket. Do you know this? I've done this in many classes where what we do is the students are allowed to leave the class for the next lunch break or period only when they say a synonymous word of what the topic was today. If you're talking about force, the students will have to speak about synonyms of force before leaving the class. So one by one, they do it and quickly they go. It's not that difficult. So even if they say wrong, it's completely fine. At least they were thinking about it until their turn came, right? So that's called as exit ticket. So write one thing you learned today that could be on the notebook, or they can say and go out. Traffic light check. I think this is also like quite common among pre-primary and primary sectors. Students show a red, yellow, green card or circle to indicate if they're lost, unsure, or confident. Have you come across this trainers who train the students on swimming, scuba diving, and I don't know, I mean, skating for that matter? They all have sign languages. Like they have to show this under the water to say that I'm fine. This means I would like to go up. This means I'm not feeling well, something like that. Uh, so This is a sign language that you could, so that could be one of them basically. So traffic light check could be one of them, something like that. 3-2-1 strategy is all about students to write three things they learned, two questions, one thing that they enjoyed while completing the class. Do you do this? Not so common, but I never did that. Emoji summary. Students describe the lesson using an emoji and explain why they chose it. Oh, don't give this. It's very dangerous. I've done this. And now most of this is so dry, sir. It is so boring. Just because you're there in the class, I learned this chapter. Otherwise, this is so nice. This is not at all. Calculus, integrations, differentiations. You'll get such kind of emojis, but allow them to do it. That's where micro moments play a role. Finally, social and emotional aspects, an important area. Appreciation circle. One student gives a shout out to another for something that they did. So it's like sometimes you might think that the students are behaving, inappropriately in the class, or like they're not really disciplined when they clap for somebody else. Sometimes they're really genuine. Some students will shout, shout out to you, buddy, you did a good job. Especially in higher classes, this happens. It's a good way of appreciating. You like allow that to happen. Let them appreciate. It's like a student won the national level game or something or somewhere, and they come to the school after a long break after performing. And the moment they enter the class, there's a proper arrangement of applause. Sometimes it happens in the assembly itself. So that's one way of appreciation circle. The point is, let us do that regularly. So that's where a micro moment comes into play. Next is emoji mood meter. Students pick up an emoji to show how they're feeling. We discussed about it. 1 minute gratitude. What's one thing that you're thankful for today? Many teachers ask this and the students note it down. 2 minute check-in. Privately ask a student, how's your day going? Are you okay today? I would like to tell this to you. I do not know how many of the teachers over here call the students by their name, not the pet name, not the names called by the students, purely by their name. It's like, hey, the girl with the ponytail. No, hey Ritika, something like that. So it's very difficult to remember the names, and I would I would like to take a moment over here to appreciate all those teachers who remember each and every class students. In fact, I've seen my teachers. I have spent a lot of my life in the staff room because my parents were teachers. I used to go have my breakfast with them. I remember one of my teachers, Ruchi Sharma ma'am. She used to literally take efforts to remember the names. She will have acronyms. She'll be like, okay, this particular girl sitting in this corner was actually called as Dhvani. That particular student over there is basically sitting with a group of girls all the time. That's called as Kriti. And here it is Ajinkya. Something she would take references and remember for every class. I'm pretty sure many of you are doing that. So I would like to take a moment to appreciate that to everyone. So that's like 2 minute checking, asking the student how's your day going privately with the names. It's like a sense of connect over there. Silent applause, replace clapping with silent applause, waving hands to appreciate efforts quickly and calmly, only at special scenarios. Otherwise, applause has to be like an applause. According to me. Finally, use of technology is another area. I'm not sure how many of you are comfortable using the platforms in the class, but if you are using, you could use Padlet, Kahoot, Mentimeter, ChatGPT, or Google Gemini, or QR code as an exit activity in the classroom. So this could be another way of attracting the students. Something like that. Let's go with the last point. Parent discussion ke liye, we have this micro moment where you can send a parent a quick message. Your child asked a great question today. I'm not sure how many of you do. Taking a picture of the question or just dropping a message to a particular parent again establishes a connection. Most of you like, itna time nahi hai life mein. Most of you like, no, we don't have time to do all these things. Some of you must be like, we are not allowed to use our mobile phones in the classroom. But anyways, doing it is interesting. A 1 minute audio clip, can you do that? Record a voice note about student progress. You can say that today your child was really good. I would like to send a quick voice message. Yeah. You can have a separate phone number if possible. Some schools actually give that if you can have a phone number so that you can send messages to the parents. Sometimes a limit has to be set to the number of messages sent by the teachers to the parents or the parents to the teachers. I've seen parents calling night 11 o'clock to the teacher and asking a doubt on total internal reflection. No. Photo moment. Snap and send a photo of students' work. I really like that. Weekly emoji report. Share an emoji based summary of the week with parents. Like single point. Quick appreciation mail. Copy paste the template appreciating name for small success. Takes under a minute. You can do that. This is another micro moment. Some of the other casual stuffs that you can do in the classes, catch the ball for take your turn. It's like on the ball you'll have some information and there'll be music played and the ball is continuously thrown from one place to another. The moment the music is stopped, whoever is having the ball have to answer the question. I think you know this. You do this in other recreational activities but not in the class much. Some people even have the markers used on the ball to write a problem, and it is kept on passed, like kept on. I mean, one person to another person is it's being passed, and the students when they stop it and they look at it, they solve the problem. That could be another. Quizzing row wise, sometimes boys or girls, it's another interesting activity. You can just make sure that the students are engaged with some sort of games. It's like who gives the right answer. Oh, this time boys won, this time girls won. Generally students like this boys versus girls games. I'm not sure, but it's up to you. During my days, I used to love it. It's my personal thing. Riddles, the next level. Riddles is again interesting, provided it matches with the topic. Don't ask the ant and elephant riddle. It's like, you know, you know that, right? Like the ant actually went inside the temple to pray the god. The elephant knew that the ant is inside the temple. How did you know about it? Because the ants left their slippers outside the temple. No, don't do all these things. The students will get disconnected then and there. Anyways, did you know conversations can be really interesting? We saw one or two examples. Role play could be another area, and multiple methodologies. Micro moments is creative work. It doesn't have a standard process of SOP नहीं है इसका. There's no procedure to follow certain instructions to have micro moments. Whatever you do in the class, it's the best. That's why micro moments are supposed to be recognized. The more they are, the unique they are, and better is the attention span. So that actually brings me to the last part of the session, teachers. I think micro moments is that particular area that is given the least importance but has to be given the maximum. It's all about the creativity of a particular teacher, general appreciations, group discussions, debates, role plays, whatnot. That's what we spoke about. Everything boils down to one important area called as attention span. It also is very important because there are a few other factors that play an important role. Let me show that slide once again. Okay, it. So they keep up the attention spans. They help the students retain and understand information, content, and knowledge. They help in perspectives. They link or connect dots with real life experiences. They allow students to have informal conversations on the topic. They are not at all traditional. These moments are generally fun. These moments break the monotony. These moments build the competencies. These moments are what a student looks up to every day during the class. That's what makes them like, let me come to the class. I have my teacher Sunita waiting for me, something like that. So that brings me to the end of the session, teachers. It's a creative work. I would request everybody to create it. Of course, there are multiple platforms, artificial intelligence platform from where you can get the support from. But if a micro moment is designed by you know, something like came to know about it while on the way you are there in the bus to the school, or while you were taking bath, or you were like suddenly it appears and like, let me do this in the class. So the more it is created by yourself, the better is your involvement. But if it is pushed down upon you by some some fellow with a black shirt on a Super Sunday workshop, it might not really work very well. So it's important to imbibe it from yourself. How really you can bring it up. If you can do that initially one or two times or five times, then getting the support from other areas and then putting it across the class will lead a fantastic moments to be cherished about in an academic year. You'll be happy. Thank you so much, teachers. Great interacting with one and all on another interesting topic over a Super Sunday workshop. I would like to come back and meet you again with another interesting topic in the next Super Sunday workshop. Until then, thank you so much. Have a great day. Jai Hind. Okay. Thank you, Vani ma'am. Thank you so much, teachers. If you have any queries, you can put on the chat. One important update for all the teachers. Uh, Reflection forms can be filled until Tuesday. We are extending the time so that many people can participate and get the certificates. We've got this request from multiple school leaders. Sunday, we are not able to complete on the same day till midnight. Earlier it was 6 o'clock. We extended the time till 12 o'clock. Now that I've got decent capacity of team members working with me, dedicating time for Super Sunday workshop, we can extend this till Tuesday. I'll repeat it, Tuesday night, 12 o'clock. So it's 12 midnight. Until Tuesday, 12 night midnight, you can complete the reflection form, and everybody who scores 7 and above gets the certificate. Everybody who scores 7 and above gets the certificate. Thank you so much. You can watch the video till Tuesday and fill up the reflection form. Thanks to the team members as well who helped me do this. Okay. Is it only the reflection form? Yes. Thank you, Seema ma'am. Thank you so much. Bindu ma'am, Arpita ma'am. Thank you, Himlata ma'am. You can fill up the reflection form until Tuesday. Narendra sir, thank you. Sashikala ma'am, good to see you. Thank you. It's on the way, Devi ma'am. Thank you so much. I would like to request all the teachers to choose one area of upgradation regularly. Anything, regularly. A small, consistent step towards some upgradation for yourself gives a lot of confidence. Forget about the knowledge that you gain, but the confidence that you gain, that you took an extra effort, came out of the comfort zone to do something in the area of your profession. The confidence that you gain at that particular moment is immense, and that's what leads you to be a better performer as a teacher in the next day. So yeah, so do something consistently. It could be anything. Thank you, Tanya ma'am. Thank you so much, Harish sir. Thank you, Mamta ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Deepika ma'am. Uma Devi ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sheetal ma'am. Thank you, Mitali ma'am. Thank you so much. Devaki ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Mangala ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Narendra sir. Sure, sir. Done. I think in the certificate it's not mentioned 1 hour. I'll add that point, Ram Subramanian sir. Definitely, I'll add that point. Oh, valuable point, sir. Done. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much. Rabia ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Parna ma'am. Actually, some of the comments in the last Super Sunday workshop, it was really interesting. Like after the session gets over on YouTube live, people are joining on the Zoom, knowing that once the session gets over, many Zoom participants will go out. So the YouTube people will get an opportunity to come here and comment over here. So that's very moving. Thank you so much for that. Encourages a lot, a lot of our team members to work towards better content every Sunday. So thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. Thank you, Shikha ma'am. Thank you, Tripura ma'am. Nilanjana ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Pallavi ma'am. Sandeep. Al Jazeera ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charanjit ma'am. Thank you, Vani ma'am. Means a lot. Srilata ma'am, no ma'am. I mean, I would love to. Uh, yeah, let's see. I'll figure out something. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sujata ma'am. My pleasure. If you've not received your certificate, I'm really sorry. Please write an email to rajesh@superteacher.in. You should get it. You should get it. Thank you, Sunil sir. Great. That's great, Dolly ma'am. Great. So let's close for today, teachers. It's a Sunday weekend. Spend time with your family. Most of the times you are like no less than a corporate employees these days, teachers in India. Come back home at around 6 o'clock, have dinner and then sleep, right? Sunday should not be like that. Yeah, I would like to meet you again in the next Super Sunday workshop. Thank you so much. Great interacting with one and all. Have a super Sunday. Bye, everyone.